Hi, friends. This is your pal Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about American politics, and we're going to talk about what we do with the rest of American King Donald Trump's 4-year term. Because at this point, we've already made America great again. It worked. Like, literally, I couldn't believe it. Right now, I've already defined this on some other videos, but so I'll just kind of define it quickly here. Uh, Go listen to last week of February, listen to the I think was it Ezra Klein? I'm pretty sure it was. So the New York Times does a podcast, and they have this thing where they do a weekly podcast, and they bring in all their headliners, and it's like 4 or 5 people around the table, and they're like, let's talk about what's happening with Trump. And I couldn't believe it. It was astonishing. And like, these guys are dyed-in-the-wool liberals. And one of them was like, okay, wait a second, what happened this week? And one of them is like, okay, so Donald Trump brought Russia and Ukraine to the peace talks, right? And he just did a deal with Zelensky to get $500 billion of mineral rights out of their ground. Now we paid maybe $150 million into the Ukraine war, and now we're going to get double, triple, maybe 5 times back what we invested, so that every dime America invested in the Ukraine war was not done for charity, was not helping them. It's going to return us $3 to $5 on every dollar we spent. And in addition to that, the entire war was literally just a practice war, for America to see exactly what every tactic Russia currently is employing and get tons and tons of war intelligence on them for nothing. I mean, it was astonishing, right? And this was New York Times, dyed-in-the-wool liberals just saying, we've been defeated at every single level. And if you listen to that podcast, it's astonishing. They're like, it's done. It's cooked in the book. Like, he won. He won at every level, and he did, right? He has made America great again within the first 100 days. It's already done, right? So what do we do with the next 4 years? Well, what we do is we make America a mighty empire. Make America a mighty empire. So how do we do this? First thing we do is we should immediately attack Vladimir Putin's nation and take every inch of Vladimir Putin's nation's land and give it to Americans. Give it to any American who wants to move to a defeated Russia, right? You will get Russian land. 40 acres and a mule, the land will belong to you in perpetuity, right? As an American, right? Just like if you bought something. But you don't have to buy it. You just sign up, you show up. Here's your 40 acres and a mule. And if anybody's living there, they'll be displaced, right? Because you couldn't do this you could not do this to anything but Vladimir Putin's nation, right? The reason why is they murdered hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians and threatened the sovereignty of every single nation on the planet, right? And also threatened nuclear strikes, right? That makes you completely a viable target for America to boots on the ground and take all your land, right? So that would be our 51st to 100 states, right? Now, here's the kicker though, okay? Here's the point of this video. Well, how do we make America a mighty empire? Well, one of the ways is we have to create a new quality standard for the U.S. military. And right now, the U.S. military is doing everything wrong in how it actually creates its force, right? And we need to fix this, all right? So first of all, America has already revolutionized and fully innovated modern warfighting. We are literally the tip of the spear. When it comes to effective war, we teach the whole world how to do it. Nobody, there are nations that can't even assemble the equipment we build, right? They don't have they wouldn't even have the technology to assemble it. Most nations can't even use the material we build, right? We're so far ahead, right? But now, that's all done on the tech side. We've already mastered technology warfare, and we are the number one country in the world for it. And not by a small margin, by like a lot, right? Okay. All right. So, even nukes, right? We're the only nation in the world to deploy nukes. Like everybody else has practiced. We're the only ones who've ever done it, right? We've done it twice, right? All right. So how do we do this again? How do we completely revolutionize how war is fought throughout the entire world? Well, there's a couple ways. I'm just going to give you one today. We change how we recruit. Right now, we're doing it completely wrong. Right now, we take our best and our brightest. We take our youngest and our strongest and our fastest. That is completely wrong, right? And there's only one opportunity to really get in the military. You have to be hyper fit, and you have to go in right when you are at college age, traditional college age, right? And that's completely wrong. It is 100% wrong, right? So we need to change the criteria to join the U.S. military. So what would the criteria be? Your feet are on American soil. You walk into a recruiting for any of the military recruiting agencies, and you say, "I would like to die for America." Period. That's it, right? You're like, wait, and that's it, right? No medical checks. Nothing is checked. You are immediately brought into the military. Doesn't matter if you're in a wheelchair. Doesn't matter if you are overweight. Doesn't matter if you don't speak English, right? If you could say those words, "I would like to die for America," you're in. You're in. Literally within 24 hours, you're processed. Put your boot on, put your uniform on. You're an American soldier. And you can do this at any point in your life. You could be 60 years old. You could be 80 years old, right? Just walk in. "I would like to die for America." You're a U.S. soldier, okay? Now, why is this important? Well, for a lot of reasons, okay? So one, we don't need fit soldiers anymore. And the reason why is half the jobs that are done can be done sitting down, right? Half the job of the modern U.S. military is can be done by anyone. You don't need to be physically fit, right? The next part is and then you send these soldiers off to die, right? Not to fight, to die, right? You're like, wait, you just can't send men off to die. You absolutely can send men off to die. Why? Because right now, the number one problem of American men is deaths of despair. They are so pointless, so useless, so distraught, so in despair that they are dying deaths of despair by the millions, right? American men are already in a war right now. They're in an American cultural war, right? The entire world, the entire American nation is telling them, "Oh, you're a young man. Oh, you're an old man. Oh, you're a man of color. Oh, you're a Caucasian man. It doesn't matter. We don't care. You suck. You have no purpose, and you could go die in a hole. Why don't you go die under that bridge over there and die a death of despair?" And if you don't know what that is, you've been living in a cave. Death of despair is a term that's been around for 15 years, and it is applied to men because they die deaths of despair every single day by the thousands, right? So when men are in America right now dying deaths of despair, you could say, "Hey, let's end that cycle. Why don't you go die a death of purpose? Why don't you go die a death of dominion? Why don't you go die a death of duty? Why don't you die in a way that is real and useful?" Right? That is a death of purpose, right? And we could send American men to die by the millions feeling no guilt, right? Because that is a death of purpose. And you could also have a man who has lived an incredibly useful life, and now he's 60, and he's not as useful as he was, and he's not able to provide the way he used to. And you can say, you could still do something to serve your family, right? You can still do something to serve your nation. Because right now they can't do anything. They have to sit around and watch, right? But under this new policy, under this new method, right, they could serve the nation. And they could make America a mighty empire. Every single word you just heard in this video is my humble opinion. Absolutely nothing more, absolutely nothing less. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion. When you get in the comments and send your traffic, please consider subscribing and have a fetch millennium.